Welcome to Cybersecurity Lessons. Today, we will be talking about software security, cross-site scripting attacks. One of the main software attacks is cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting, or XSS, is a common attack vector that injects malicious code into a vulnerable web application. XSS differs from other web attack vectors in that it does not directly target the application itself. Instead, the users of the web application are the ones at risk. Attackers often leverage XSS to steal session cookies and impersonate the user. Attackers can also use XSS to deface websites, spread malware, phish for user credentials, support social engineering techniques, and more. Cross-site scripting attacks can have devastating consequences. Code injected into a vulnerable application can exfiltrate data and install malware on the user's machine. Attackers can masquerade as authorized users via session cookies, allowing them to perform any action allowed by the user account. Types of XSS attacks. Reflected cross-site scripting. Reflected attacks occur when an injected script is returned by the web server, typically as a part of an error message, search result, or any other response that includes the input sent by the user. These attacks are often delivered to the victims through indirect channels, such as malicious link in an email or another website. When a user clicks on the link, submits a manipulative form, or visits a compromised site, the malicious code is sent to the vulnerable web server, which then reflects it back to the user's browser. The browser executes the code because it originates from the trusted server. Reflected XSS is also known as non-persistent or Type 1 XSS. Stored or persistent cross-site scripting. Stored XSS attacks occur when an injected script is permanently saved on the target server, often within a database, message board, comment section, or visitor log. When the victim requests this stored information, the malicious script is retrieved and executed by their browser. Stored XSS is also known as persistent or Type 2 XSS. Blind cross-site scripting. Blind cross-site scripting is a type of persistent XSS attack. It typically happens when the attacker's payload is stored on the server and then reflected back to the victim through backend application. For example, an attacker can submit a malicious script through a feedback form, and once an admin or backend user views the form submission, the script is executed. Blind XSS can be difficult to detect in real-world scenarios. DOM-based cross-site scripting. DOM-based XSS, also known as Type 0 XSS in some sources, is a type of XSS attack where the malicious payload is executed by altering the DOM, or the document object model, environment in the victim's browser, which is used by the original client-side script. This modification causes client-side code to behave in an unexpected way. Unlike other types of XSS attacks, such as stored or reflected, the actual page, the HTTP response, does not change. Instead, the client-side script behaves differently due to malicious alterations in the DOM environment. This distinguishes DOM-based XSS from other XSS attacks, where the payload is injected into the response page through server-side vulnerability. How to block cross-site scripting. Blacklist high-risk HTML tags. Blacklisting high-risk HTML tags is a strategy used to mitigate cross-site scripting attacks by preventing potentially dangerous HTML tags from being used in user script. These tags can be exploited by attackers to inject malicious script into web page. By filtering or blacklisting these risky tags, you can reduce the likelihood of an XSS attack. Use HTTP-only cookie flag. The HTTP-only cookie flag is a security feature that helps protect cookies from being accessed or manipulated by client-side scripts such as JavaScript. When a cookie is set with HTTP-only flag, it can only be sent to the server with HTTP requests, and it cannot be accessed via JavaScript running in the user's browser. This flag is primarily used to mitigate the risk of cross-site scripting attacks. In an XSS attack, a malicious script is injected into a web page can sometimes read cookies and steal sensitive information, such as session tokens. By setting the HTTP only flag, even if a malicious script is able to run, it will not be able to access the cookie data, as the browser will prevent it from being read by JavaScript.